Well, I went to work for TNP, and I worked for the Missouri Pacific, and I worked for Union Pacific. That's right. Fort Worth and Longview. Oh, back in 1945. It's somewhere in the summertime. I think June the 5th, 1951. Yeah, took that packing on, walked up all the train, and opened them boxes, Gerald, put oil in them, and things like that. It's on the side of the cars, the freight cars, and all, where it was 1, 2, 2 or 4 on every boxcar. See, the axle, the journals was sticking out on the outside of the wheel. See. No, the reason I went to work for the railroad, I had a roof over my head. I was at an inside building, and when I was working for oil field pipelines, I was out in the open all the time. That's all. You had to work as an apprentice for 4 years. You just worked days. Then after I come out as machinist, I had to work wherever the seniority would let me. It might be nights or evenings. And then later on, I went to work 3:30 to 11:30 at night. The 300 switch engines when I was working there in 1951. See, they were just getting the diesels in. Yeah, I worked on steam engines. At $1.37 an hour, I think it was. $10 a day. No, I think it got raised. We didn't get, if it did, it might have been 3 cents an hour or something like that. After worked nearly a year. I made about $14 and something, about $14 an hour. Well, when I was serving apprenticeship, I just worked 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. And same deal after I got to be a machinist. Well, I worked in Longview part of the time, vacation down there. Them guys would go on vacation, I'd go down there and work their vacations, Longview. Well, I guess because I had a passenger train there then, we had to get a pass and go to El Paso or New Orleans. And I never did go to Texarkana, but I used to go on a pass to New Orleans and pass to El Paso. Maybe sometimes a week by myself.
I won't ask you what happened in New Orleans.
No more than El Paso and Juarez, I guess. Not a little over 40 years altogether. I think I had to join the union after I was there 3 months, I think it was. Oh yeah, it was a union shop. It wasn't an open shop, yeah. Same way about when I joined the union when I was onward in New Orleans. I joined the union there. It wasn't a closed shop either. Yeah, I really I didn't mind it. It wasn't bad. 1929, February the 22nd, 1929. Oh, in a house, yeah.
But
down close to Lake Fork.
well,
Yeah.
I was getting versus a hospital.
Yeah, we had a house. We didn't.
It
wasn't no tent, no. Well, I went to New Hope School, and I went to Mineola School. Now, I think they just taught up to the 9th or 10th grade out there, and I went to Mineola for hospital as a freshman, and I went to the sophomore year, Mineola. Quit school when I was a sophomore, went to work. Oh, well, I worked for a pipeline, Austin Bridge Company. In 1946, I went to work for Austin Bridge Company. Well, I think if they let me have 22 when I was about 12 years old, and I'd go squirrel hunting or rabbit hunting. But later on, I started shooting a shotgun, quail hunting. Welcome, W-L-C-O-M-E, welcome, Nody Greer. Mary Louise Henson, Henson, Henson. Yeah, I had two sisters, Mary Louise Greer and June Evelyn Greer. I was a middle child. He started back in about 43, I think it was, about 1943. I think altogether about 17 years, I think it was. He was a carman helper. Then I think he got up to be a carman before they closed the shop down in Mineola. He was a foreman out there. He was a carman foreman. He was a farmer before he went to work for the railroad. He went to work for the railroad during the war. As, you know, all the young guys were in the service, gone, and of course he is class 3, I guess, and so he got a job at the railroad. Skinny Willingham, he knew Skinny Willingham, and he worked out there, and he got him a job.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 36 when I got married. Yeah, Roger and Martha, yeah. She had, no, they was about 12, 13 years old when we got married. Martha was the oldest. Martha, Williams, and Roger Williams. Yeah, I went to work in New Orleans. In 1947, I went to New Orleans and went to work for the Iron Workers Union, serving apprenticeship as an iron worker. I think about 4 months. Oh, I don't know, pipeline. I worked for 2 different pipelines, O.C. Whitaker Pipeline, Bishop and Locke, and then I made a wheat harvest. One year I went out West Texas and worked in a combine, wheat. And then 1951, I went to work for the railroad. That was after I come out of the Army. I got in the Army, and my daddy had a heart attack, and I stayed in the Army about 4 months. And then after I went to work for the railroad, then they put me back in the Army for 2 more years. I was drafted. That's when they was having a draft. You had to spend 2 years in the service. Well, it wasn't as bad. I did work in the oil field for a while, back there in 48, 49, I worked in the oil field. Railroad wasn't as dangerous as the oil field work was. 1991, 91, June the 5th, 1991. Dental care for 6 months after I retired, but after that, well, I didn't have anything. I could have joined one of them deals. I forgot what it was. Travelers, I believe it was Travelers. I remember when Mr. Shatter got killed out here, you know, up there at I think on the other side of Edgewood there, when the engine come in there and it had that sulfur all over it, you know, and it burnt. They hit an oil tank, and I remember seeing some engines that was tore up pretty bad. That hit something, you know. It hit one of them transport trucks had distillate in it, you know, like gasoline coming there. He run out in front of it, and that passenger train hit it. It burnt Mr. Shatter. Yep, right. He was sitting there in the engineer's seat. He never did get up. He just run him right there. Yeah. They tore it in there and blug it off. Anybody couldn't get there, I guess, till they investigated it pretty good, you know, see what it is. Yeah, Mr. Shatter was. Yeah, he lived on 49. And Robert Cannon he was a fireman. It blowed him out up there in the field and killed him. And that, I guess, well, I remember when when one of them passenger trains come in, and old Lively was foreman, and he told me, he said, Cowboy, go down there and check that engine and see what kind of shape it's in. And what happened, the airbox drain stopped up, and they went around a curve and got water in there, and it broke a 12-cylinder engine. It broke all the blade rods on one side, tore the engine all to pieces. They couldn't even put a new crankshaft in the whole. Hydraulic, when them pistons come up and pull that water up there, well, it broke them rods and it put such strain on that engine they couldn't even rebore it or nothing, you know, and they had to do away with the engine.